Hey everyone, it's Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Thanks for coming by to check out another video. I'm coming at you from a top secret location at Primetime Treasure headquarters. I tend to only go into this location when I need to sit down and have a lot of space to work with, when I have a pretty complex packing project to do. Now, it's really not that complicated, actually. It's really just more that the item that I'm shipping here is pretty big and bulky, and I've done a video before for you on how to ship out big bulky items, but that was for an item that was relatively uniform in shape. It was a big giant CD changer, and so it was pretty square, rectangular, pretty easy to do. This one is a very odd shape and it's very heavy. It's approximately 40 pounds. And I not only wanted to do the video to show you how to pack and ship an item that is like that, but I also want to tell you how you could do this and still do a free shipping model. I hear a lot of people say that you cannot do a free shipping model if you are shipping big, bulky, heavy items. That is not true, and I'm going to tell you why. And to fully understand why, you really need to go and click on the link to the video I'm going to show you below that shows you when I sourced the item. In fact, I'll show it to you right here. It's this, I mean, it is heavy. It is a big, giant, 40-pound Craftsman Vise. And this was a really cool item to get. It was basically underneath a workbench at an estate sale. There wasn't too many other things at the estate sale besides tools. This one was challenging to get out. Fortunately, I was able to do so by using tools available to me at the location. Once I got it out, if you go to that video, you will see that I sourced this item in addition to 2 vintage pencil sharpeners and other tools, and I wound up getting everything there for $40. $40 for everything. I sold both of those pencil sharpeners for about 40 to 50 bucks each. So this is all profit, and that's the key. You want to source low, and you can think of your sourcing low in various ways. You could either source an individual item very low, or you could source it low by combining it with other items. So since I bought that as one essential, basically a lot purchase of items at that estate sale, those 2 items got me my money back. In fact, one of those items got me all my money back. And so this you could conceptualize as all profit. So that's how you do it. Now, that's part one of how you do it. The other way that you do it is you have to understand market caps. There's just so high that someone is willing to pay for a specific item. Now, at the time that I purchased the item, because market caps do fluctuate depending on the time of the year with certain items. So at the time that I purchased this, I thought maybe I could get around $200 for it, or somewhere around that range. Now, it turns out that if you look at this right here, it is a bit rusty, and so that rust does take some of the value down once I did a little more research after I sourced it. So I wound up selling this for $135. I had it up for $140. Person made me an offer of $135. Now, I already checked the shipping on this. It is going to cost me $25 to ship it, or $24. So minus all the fees and everything, the bottom line is I'm going to profit around $100 on this item. Now, I could have priced it at $100 and charged $35 shipping, but it's the same thing. That's what I'm trying to point out when I talk about free shipping versus calculated shipping for big, heavy items. You just have to make sure you work the shipping cost into the cost of the item. Now, where you would make a big mistake with doing free shipping wrong is if you priced it at $100 and then did free shipping, not realizing where your current competition is. And you have to look at your current competition. You have to say, okay, if there's somebody else who has the same item as I do, what are they pricing it at plus shipping? So that's what I mean when I say work the shipping into it. So if somebody else has it for $100 plus $40 shipping, then you factor that in and you price it at $135 because that person already worked the shipping cost into it and they came up with a total of $140. And if everything is, equal in terms of your reputation, the condition of the piece, then all of those things kind of wash out, and so you just kind of take a little bit off of where that person is, and you beat them with price. And so that's how you do it in terms of pricing it and doing free shipping with big, heavy items. But now let's get into how to pack this up. Now, it's very important when you have an item like this, you have to make sure before you list it that you have a box, because you don't want to be running around on a weekend or late at night trying to find a box that would fit, especially something like this. So what I did, and it's one of the reasons actually I waited a while before I posted this, I wanted to make sure I got the best possible box I could for this. It had to be strong. And I advise, if you have a full-time job somewhere where you're working, look around and see if there's boxes in the receiving area, or let other staff members know that you would like boxes. I literally have people at work that bring boxes to me from home, either broken up or intact, plus they bring in bubble wrap, they bring in air cushions, all sorts of stuff that they're just going to throw out. They know that I could use it. They bring it in for me. Well, one of the boxes that I found laying around at work, someone had bought a new computer, and so this was perfect. I was looking for something rectangular, really strong, and if you think about it, this has to keep a computer safe during shipping, and so, computer has fragile contents inside, and so it's got to be strong, and this thing is super strong. It's about 23 inches this way. It's about 19 inches in height, and it's about 10 inches going across. So this vise does fit in there, but what I want to do, I don't just want to toss it in there and that's it. I do want to make sure I protect it. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to just wrap this baby up in bubble wrap. And so I've got some nice thick bubbles here. This did come with some screws, by the way, and I made sure that I just taped them down right there so they don't get lost, and they're going to stay secure in there when I bubble wrap it all the way around. So I'm just going to move this stuff back so that I have enough room to work, and I'm just going to basically lay my bubble wrap out this way. Okay, so you can see here what I'm going to do. It's just like you would bubble wrap anything else. I'm just going to basically put it like right around here. I'm just going to lay it right on top, okay? And I'm just going to hold over like this. I'm going to rip off a piece, and I'm going to still just put it right like that, okay? And then I'm just going to start doing some taping. We definitely don't want the handle to get damaged, so I'm just going to make sure that area is secured and protected. That's why you want to use large bubbles in this situation, not small bubbles. Remember, make sure the bubbles are facing inwards. That's the best way to protect the item. Okay, so now we've got the head bubble wrapped. We've got to get this stem part bubble wrapped as well, so that's going to be the next part here. And so with the stem part, I'm just going to do it vertically, whereas this part I went horizontally and put the bubble wrap over this way. But it just seems to make more sense for a piece like this to just go this way with it. So have it set up like that, and just going to pull it over. And this is just, an initial layer. We'll probably do some more after this. Okay, now I want this to stay intact while I'm working with the sides part of it, because the problem is if I start messing around with the sides here, it's going to pull this down. So I want to make sure I get a piece of 3-inch tape across it just to keep it nice and secure so I can work with the sides better. So I'm just going to go like this. And now I'm set. See, I can work with this okay, and it's not going to pull this down anymore. And when you could basically pull the bubble wrap over on itself like this, it really makes it nice and thick. See, I'm going to bring this right here like this for you so you can see. It really, see, it's just, you know, it's a nice cushion right there already, but when you could bring it over like that, now you've got a nice, almost like you triple cushioned it basically. That's kind of what it feels like. So now I'm just going to tape that part down as well, just using some invisible tape or Scotch tape. And I keep that secure with some 3-inch tape. And now I'm going to do the same thing this side right here. I'm going to put another layer of tape right over here. Secure it. Good. And I'm going to put another layer right here. Because before I did like right over here, now I'm getting this layer right here. So it's starting to, you know, feel pretty protected. Now I still have more bubble wrap back here, as you see. And what I could do now is I could just pull this over like this, and we could do another layer of protection. So there we go. Just like that. And now I'm just going to basically tape the sides down like this. Okay, so I've flipped it over and I'm putting some bubble wrap here, and I could tell you that once I connect this part here, this is still, I'm going to want to put another protective layer right here after I tape these sides up. Okay, so as I'm turning these pieces over on one another, I want to continue to make sure that I am securing them with 3-inch tape at select spots. We're going to do a layer here as well, where this part connects. Just going to go all the way around with this one. Nice. Okay, now use your judgment in terms of how much bubble wrap you need. I basically say if you could feel the item very clearly when you're pushing down on it, then it's time for another layer of bubble wrap on it, because that's how to make sure it's really protected. So you want to essentially just feel cushion. Like right here in this spot, I just feel cushion. That's what I'm getting. But here, I'm getting that I'm feeling the hardness of the metal. I don't want that. I want to feel resistance from cushion, not metal. You can hear the difference, listen. Versus this. You notice that difference? You don't want that, you want this. So let's put another layer on here. Now, one of the things you could do, actually, is you could just take like 2 pieces, fold them over on itself like this, and then just put it on like that. So you essentially give it a double layer with those 2 strips. Okay, now let's go back to that same spot. We'll do the same test and listen to the difference. Not hard anymore. So, perfect. That's what we want. The only other area I want to give some extra protection to here is the wood handles. Wood will break. The metal's not going to break. The wood can. It could snap. I don't want that in any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to make sure I give this an extra layer of bubble wrap on top of it. And again, I'm just going to just lay it over. This is actually one piece, and I'm just going to be creative with it. Go like that, and then push it down like that. Okay, so we are all set now. This thing is nice and protected in the bubble wrap, so it's time to get it inside of that box. Okay, now, if we put traditional air cushions and air pillows right on the bottom of this, what's going to happen is they're most likely going to get crushed during transport, and eventually it's not going to be that effective. You can do it, and you can probably make it work if you used thick enough layers of it on the bottom. But another thing you could try, and this will be completely resistant to any type of popping because it literally cannot pop, is something like this, foam cushioning. I actually found this just being thrown away at the back of a Bed Bath & Beyond, and I have a ton of this. I found a whole roll of it for free. I mean, you could purchase it online, just look for foam cushioning. They use it in like arts and crafts projects and stuff, but and it cuts real easily. You just have to take a big scissor like this. I show this scissor all the time. It's in my description section if you want to purchase it, but it cuts through this like butter as well, and what you could just do is cut out specific shaped and sized pieces for it, and we're just going to lay that right along the bottom. Now, there's a little bit of an overhang on it, so I'll show you how you could just easily snip that off. All you have to do is just take the scissors like this and just cut right into it like this, and you just trim it however you need. And now, you know, I could use this for some other box. You just get all different shapes and sizes. So I'll push it down again, and there we go. So now that's our layering for the bottom, and we could also put a layering of it up top if we want. So I'm now going to take the vise, I'm going to put it right inside of here. Okay, here goes. I'm going to take it, put it right in here. Alright, so there you see it, right inside of there. Now we do have a lot of void space in there, and we want to make sure that we fill that up because we do not want this item sloshing around in there. So we're going to protect it on both sides with some additional foam cushioning, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. Okay, so what I basically did with this first piece to protect it on both sides is rather than putting a strip here and a strip here, I basically covered the stem by putting it over it like an inverted U. So you see that? It's just like rolled over onto the stem here, just like that. See that? Just take it and just push it right down over it so it, you know, basically wears it almost like a shirt or like a sweater, basically. That's how you got to think of it. Okay, so basically what I decided to do, rather than coming up with a single uniform hat for it, is to just fill in some of the void spaces in here with some specific pieces. Like at the very bottom down there, you could see there I put a wedge of foam cushioning. I did the same thing on the other end as well. You can't see because it's a little bit dark. But I'm going to also take, I have some pretty thick bubble wrap pieces that I wound up getting from my full-time job. It was just laying around, so I'm just folding it over on itself vertically. And I'm just pushing it down here in the corner to protect it. I'm not concerned about this popping at all because it's just so folded in on one another that it should be okay, especially with the way that I wrapped the original piece. So that basically covered this corner up, and now I'm going to fill in some void space here. And these particular pieces of packing material that I'm using, I wound up getting these pieces for free through work, so I'm not really concerned about, you know, cost for this. It doesn't really matter. I'm just kind of folding it in on one another and just putting it in there. I didn't pay anything for these pieces, and I didn't pay anything for the foam cushioning. This, I did pay for. This is my standard bubble wrap that I have laying around, but when I get these extra pieces like this, I love to use them for projects like this, you know, where I don't have to worry about the cost of the packing materials. So just going to fill some into this corner as well. Okay, so that is now filled up with bubble wrap. It's really protecting that head area as well. I've got some more void space here to cover. Now, I could use a box cutter if I want, but I really don't mind putting in the extra cushioning here because, again, I don't want to take any chances that this is going to get damaged, and so I like actually putting in the extra cushion. Okay, so here's another free piece of bubble wrap that I wound up getting. I'm just going to push it down right over here and protect the top. Okay, so there we have it. This strip has been cut out very easily. We're just going to lay this right up top, close the flaps, tape this baby up, and we will be all set. I'll tape it extra strong afterwards, but just going to tape the flaps down and stuff. Make sure you peel off all the stickers that were on it if you got this box from elsewhere, so there's no conflicts in terms of, you know, shipping stickers. You want to make sure you peel all those off. So. All right, so that's how you do it, folks. Simple as that. It doesn't move around in there. It is really, really well protected, and it's all set. $25 to ship this thing out, about $100 profit. Big, bulky, heavy, oblong item, weird shaped. You could still do it. Don't be scared to pick up those items, and don't be scared to offer free shipping on it to beat your competition, because all you have to do is apply the knowledge about market rates, prior solds, your current competition, what they're charging for shipping. Just factor it into your cost and you are all set. Now, it is very important when you are going to try to use a free shipping model with big bulky items like this, when you go to select the shipping service, when you make the listing, make sure that you pick economy mail, just general economy mail, no specific carrier. Don't pick USPS, don't pick FedEx. The reason is because when you sell the item, then you will be allowed to pick between any carrier and any service that you want. If you selected priority mail when you list it, then you're stuck. You have to ship it priority, or you are going to get a ding through eBay if you pick a service that's going to get it there taking a longer amount of time. Like if you select parcel post when you told the person that you were going to ship it out priority, you could get in trouble for that. So you don't want to do that. Now, if the person thought it was coming economy and you upgraded it to priority mail, then no one's going to get upset about that for upgrading the shipping. You're just going to get in trouble if you downgrade the shipping. So the four main services you want to look at would be priority mail, parcel post, FedEx Smart Post would be the economy version over at FedEx, or home delivery, FedEx home delivery. Play with those four. In different situations, you're going to find that one of those services is the most expensive and one is the least expensive. It really just depends on the size of the item, the weight, and where it's going in terms of which one of those four services is going to be the most expensive to the least expensive. So make sure you leave your options open. That's how you could select what is best for you, and in terms of bringing the shipping rate down. And you'll sometimes find that the differences between two services are massive. We're talking like 20, $30 difference sometimes between different carriers and different services. So that's it. I hope you liked the video. If so, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I have a whole bunch of other shipping tip videos, so make sure you check those out. There's a playlist on the channel dedicated to shipping tips. And I'm going to actually link to this prior video where I sourced this at the end of the video to make it even easier to find. I'll also put it in the description section, but I'll put it at the end of the video as well. Make sure you join my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center, and come to my Instagram account. That's @prime_time_treasure. I dedicate this video to Pete, the Craigslist hunter, who's going to be on this channel on January 25th, 2019, of course, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you are there for that. Pete specializes in making a lot of money off of these big, bulky items. And so Pete influenced me a lot to start picking items like this up. So thanks, Pete, and I'll see you on the 25th and see all of you there as well, hopefully. Take care, everyone.